What are we looking for? Dogs.
What's good, YouTube? Bishop Boy Burry. We back on Bird's Eye View with it. Like always, appreciate the love and support. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. Stop what you're doing. Smash the like button. Smash the subscribe button. Hop in the comment section. Comment whatever you want. Of course, I'm dropping daily bangers day by day. We got news of the day coming out of Colorado. And we're going to jump right into it, dog. So, of course, we back with another recap with this Colorado football program. As always, shout out Well Off Media, Reach the People Media, the pregame show for providing us this phenomenal footage each and every day. Of course, we are coming off of our 37-20 victory over the Wyoming Cowboys. Of course, like always, I'm gonna bring you guys the top 10 PFF video / recap. Of course, we always have some good, some bad, and some a little bit of ugly. But of course, this was a game that we were able to take care of business and handle business at home in front of a packed house. Of course, we all wanted to see exactly how Kaidon SALTER was going to respond. And of course, he did. So we're going to get into that here in just a second. But obviously, right, the keys to victory for me, starting on the defensive side of the ball, right, we had to limit their offense to under 400 yards. As you all know, coming into this game, we were giving up over 420 yards of total offense per game on defense, which just wasn't going to get it done. And of course, I wanted to be able to, limit them offensively, which we were able to do. Gave up 347 yards of total offense to Wyoming, which was the fewest that our defense has allowed all season. I also wanted to limit the missed tackles. I know we've been missing a lot of tackles on defense this season. Only missed 2 tackles against Wyoming. So, of course, we were able to improve there. I wanted to continue to create turnovers, right? We have 5 turnovers in our first 4 games now, 3 fumble recoveries. We also have 2 interceptions as well. Of course, we needed to get back to getting after the quarterback. That's what I really wanted to see from this defense. Of course, we led the Big 12 in sacks last season. Right now, we're currently 14th out of 16 teams. We only have 6 sacks on the year. To put it in perspective, West Virginia and Arizona State, they lead the Big 12 with 13 sacks, right? So we're 7 sacks behind them, right? Defense, we really got off to a fast start. I mean, when you think about it, Wyoming still had 0 total yards of offense with 14 minutes left in the second quarter. So we were able to get off to a fast start. This was the best, we can say that our defense has looked all season. Best our team has looked all season for sure. Kudos to the defense. Now, keys to victory for the offensive side of the ball. I want to continue to play clean as far as Salt with no turnovers, right? Salt has the opportunities he has been having, to play this season and the games he has started. He's been protecting the football, which has been huge for us, obviously, right? Because protecting the football is a key thing for offense, not allowing the defense to create turnovers, giving the opposing team extra possession. So we've been able to play clean with Salt, behind the center, and he played really well, right? I mean, this is without question the best performance we were able to see from Salter by far. 18 for 28, 304 yards, 3 touchdowns through the air. He also had 11 rushing attempts as well, to 86 yards and a touchdown. If you take out the sack yardage, I mean, he rushed for over 100 yards, if you take out the sack yardage. But with the sack yardage, still looking at 86 yards. His longest was for 35 yards. Of course, he had that long touchdown run. He averaged 7.8 yards per carry. So again, this was the best that we've seen Salter, and we're going to need him to play like that without question, because moving forward, we're about to hit the brunt of our schedule. I mean, we're about to face 3 straight nationally ranked opponents. So we're going to need him to continue to move forward. Commit to your legs early and often when it comes to me with Salt. I mean, obviously, we know you're a dynamic runner. You're one of the most dynamic running quarterbacks in the country, right? Commit to your legs early and often. I mean, your first 2 reads not there, boom, boom, take off and run. That's how I look at it, in my opinion, there with him. And I feel like that's going to, help us see the best of him and the best of this offense moving forward. I want to establish the run, right? I wanted to continue to establish the run. Let me say that, because we've been able to rush the football pretty well here throughout the first few games of the season, and we rushed for $193, almost 200 yards rushing on the ground with 31 attempts. Of course, Kaidon SALTER was our leading rusher, followed by Michael Welch. He had 6 carries for 67 yards. Again, this is the most rushing yards in a game this season. Of course, the Kalen Taylor, he had the most rushing attempts for a running back with 9. Only had 22 yards. Him running in between the tackles, I think we got to design something we can kind of get him out on the edge. Him running in between the tackles, I mean, that should speak for Price, Dallin Hayden, and Michael Welch. But we love Kalen Taylor's game and what he's going to be able to continue to bring to this offense moving forward. Of course, we were able to see a little bit of Dallin Hayden as well. He had 2 carries for 10 yards. And of course, Simeon Price, he had 2 carries for 8 yards and a touchdown. I know he went down with an injury. I'll get into that as well. The injury bug was definitely biting without question. I'll get into that also. But, it was a great game as well for our receivers, right? We had multiple receivers find the box, right? I mean, 3, right? They were able to find paint. All 3 of them were able to touch paint. We look at Omarion Miller, Sincere Brown, and Joseph Williams. I love what we were able to showcase as far as our wide receivers, because we did have a surprise visit, right, from one of the best wide receivers, if not the best wide receiver in the country, right? When you look at Cederian Morgan, the Alabama commit, I'm going to get into that as well, but he had a surprise visit, and he was at that matchup this past Saturday against Wyoming. Another thing, our offensive line, right, keep being consistent. Our offensive line was actually a top 10 pass blocking offensive line unit coming into this matchup. Now we dropped a little bit. We're currently at top 15 unit, but I mean, that's still very, very solid without question. I always, keep thinking about it all the time, man. If Shedeur had this offensive line, man, it would have got, listen, dog. Definitely the best offensive line unit we've seen in Boulder. Definitely the best special teams unit. Can you imagine if we had this line in the special teams last season? I mean, it would have really been special. But, just continue to be consistent. We had 497 total yards of offense, 50% on third down. So, of course, this was the offensive explosion that, of course, we were all waiting to see. We had 10 total offensive drives, only 1 3 and out, which was so much better than last week against Houston, where we had 12 drives and 6 of them were 3 and out, right? We only had 1 3 and out on 10 drives this weekend, so we were able to definitely improve there. And like I said about special teams, man, I mean, they just continue to be special without question, man. Damon Greaves, right? 3 punts, average of 48.3 yards. His longest was 59 yards. He had 1 land inside the 20. Of course, Mata, it looks like he did have that field goal block. So, of course, we do want to kind of clean that up there. He did have a field goal block there. But when you look at Buck Buchanan, I mean, 6 for 6 on touchbacks. I mean, he's just booming footballs out of the back of the end zone. That is a great element to add to our special teams unit. Quentin Gibson, I'm telling you right now, he gonna break one soon. It's coming. He's gonna break one soon. He has the green light clearly to return any kick, any punt return. It doesn't matter how far it goes into the end zone when it comes to the kick return. If he feels that he can, find a crease and get through, he has the green light to go. He is gonna break one without question this season. It's only a matter of time for our special true freshman, dog. Time of possession was much better this game as well, too. Wyoming had the ball for 32 minutes and 4 seconds. And, of course, we had the ball for 27 minutes and 56 seconds. A lot better than where it was at last week. I believe last week against Houston, what we lost the time of possession by like 13 minutes, almost a full quarter. So we was able to be a lot better there. Also, right now, I will say some of the bad here. It wasn't much bad, but there was some bad. We had, a couple more drops at wide receiver. I know Omarion Miller had one, and then Draylon Miller had another as well, too. I believe Draylon Miller has had a drop in 3 out of the 4 games we've played this season. So, of course, we're definitely going to have to clean it up there. I know with about 10 minutes left in the first quarter, Kaidon Salter was 2nd and 6. And he was, running around, scrambling around, trying to find somebody open. Instead of just throwing the ball away, we ended up taking a really, really bad sack and ended up going from 2nd and 6 to 3rd and 20 just from not throwing the ball away. And obviously, that 3rd and 20, I believe we threw a wide receiver screen to Omarion Miller, and he picked up a few yards, but of course nowhere near enough to get the yards back. So it was a 14-yard loss on that sack. Of course, we wanted to see Kaidon Salter throw the ball away, and he ended up doing that once we got in a similar position later on in the game. But of course, that was one of the bad you can say there. Another one, of course, we gave up $130 on 19 carries to a true freshman, the Wyoming running back, Samuel Harris. His name was slipping my mind, but Samuel Harris. Yeah, we gave up almost $130 to him on 19 carries. His longest again was for 50 yards. He averaged 6.6 yards per carry. They got something there though with him. He's a pretty damn good true freshman running back. He's in the 2025 class, so they got something there with him. Let's see if they'll be able to keep him. But he definitely showcased his ability without question. Like I said, surprise visit from Cederian Morgan. This is what, his fourth time that he's been to Boulder, fourth or fifth time that he's been to Boulder. Of course, we know he's committed to Alabama, man. But hey, I'm telling you right now, we're still right there, man. I mean, we're still in a really good spot to flip him on National Signing Day. What a huge flip that could possibly be, right? I mean, the fact that he continues to come back, it's legit interest there on both sides, obviously, right? So just keep an eye out on that. Of course, I'm gonna keep you guys updated, any sound bites, anything that I receive. But from what I've heard, it was a really, really great visit. Emanuel Ruffin, the 4-star defensive lineman, top 10 player in the state of Alabama, coming out of Bessemer. Of course, he was there in attendance as well. 6'4", 295. I made a video on him earlier in the last week. It looks like he had a phenomenal time as well too. Of course, I'll get you the sound bites once I get access to them. I'll bring you guys the sound bites on another video coming up this week. But it was a great showcasing without question for our stars that we had, our star visitors that we were able to have in Boulder, Colorado. It was definitely a great showing without question. Let's get into the top 10 PFF grades for the Wyoming matchup. And of course, right, we have to start with Kaidon Salter coming in at number 1, right? 89.6, of course, again, 18 for 28, 304 yards, 3 touchdowns. His longest was for 68 yards to Sincere Brown. Of course, he led us in rushing as well, 211 carries, 86 yards, another touchdown on the ground. His breakout performance, without question, and we're going to need him to continue to play well in order for us to achieve all the goals that we have set out in front of us. Arden Walker, right? At number 2, he played solid as well too, very solid, 79.2 grade, highest defensive grade. He had the 4th highest tackle grade. He had the highest pass rushing grade, finished with 6 tackles, 1.5 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks, also had a PBU as well too. Great game there by Arden Walker. Number 3 here, Amari McNeil, dog, another one, 77.8, had the highest run D grade, had 4 tackles. Him and Arden was consistent all night against Wyoming. Coming in number 4, man, a newcomer to the top 10 list, man. Terrell Timmons Jr. at 76.8. Had limited opportunities, but of course, he definitely took advantage of those opportunities. Had the 2nd highest offensive grade, had the highest receiving grade. He had 2 catches for 30 yards. Again, had minimal opportunities. I believe he played about 21 snaps around that. I think we only had about 60 snaps total on offense. He played around about 21. Of course, when I do the top 10, as long as you play about a third of the snaps, I'll include you in the top 10. So, newcomer there. Shout out to Terrell Timmons Jr. taking advantage of the opportunities that he was able to get. Omarion Miller coming in at number 5 here, 73.6, had the 2nd highest receiving grade, had the most catches with 6, and then of course he had the highest yards as well too. So he was our leading receiver, 6 catches, 88 yards, 1 touchdown as well. He is our wide receiver 1, and he's going to continue to make plays for us. Coming in here, looks like at number 6, we have Zarian McGill. Now, he was our highest graded offensive lineman at 72.8, 2nd highest pass blocking grade, 2nd highest run blocking grade as well. Coming in here at number 7 is Reginald Hughes, 70.8, had the 2nd highest tackle grade, also had the highest coverage grade as well. He finished the game with 6 tackles. Joseph Williams, 70.7. Of course, he had that 1 catch for 47 yards, and it was a touchdown, a difficult catch that he was able to make in traffic between 2 defenders. Hell of a catch there by Joseph Williams. Looking forward to seeing his production moving forward as well. Hey, man, listen, dog. Shout out to Yo-Yo, man. Hey, he really stepped in, man, and he was moving people on Saturday night, dog. 70.2, had the highest run blocking grade. Of course, he had limited opportunities as well, played about 21 snaps, but he definitely took advantage of his opportunity, man. Shout out to Yo-Yo, man. Last but certainly not least here, Jordan Seaton is going to round out our top 10 at 69.6. Had the highest pass blocking grade. He has the highest overall pass blocking grade in the country right now. But yeah, Seat did finish with a 69.6 And I know the injury bug kind of bit us Saturday night. I know Seat went down. Looks like it's a hamstring injury from the sources, from everything that's came out. It looks like he's going to be okay. Of course, Price left the game in a walking boot. I think that's more precautionary. I feel like he's going to be okay as well. I know we were already down Sam Okunlola, Brandon Davis Swain, Taufik Thomas, Gabriel Lightfoot, R.J. Johnson, Terrence Love, just to name a few, right? So, the injury bug has definitely, bit us without question. But, our guys are going to, they're going to bounce back. They're going to get healthy. We have a great training staff. So they're going to bounce back, get healthy, and we're going to start to see some more guys play that we haven't seen yet this season. Just to think, we haven't really been full strength yet. But those days are definitely coming, and we're gonna keep our guys healthy. Looking forward to the matchup coming up here soon. And like I said, we really got a tough part of our schedule right now. I mean, we can get through this part of our schedule here, and we could figure out a way to take it, take advantage. And I know this is a tough 4-game stretch, dog. I mean, when you're talking about BYU. Then you go on the road against TCU. Then you come back home against Iowa State. Then you go on the road again against Utah. I mean, those are the top 4 teams that we're going to have to get through in order for us to obtain the goal that we want, which is to obviously win the Big 12 championship. And it starts against BYU. And we got some get back there against them. As we all know, played in the Alamo Bowl against them. Ended our season last year with a loss because of BYU. So we got some get back that we need for BYU, and we get them at home, right? It's going to be another late matchup, another 8:15 Mountain start on ESPN, but it starts there. It definitely starts there, and then of course it leads to us going to TCU, Iowa State, and then Utah. So if we can get through this 4-game stretch here, and looking at 3-1, 2-2, 3-1, we'd definitely love to go 3-1 at least. Worst case scenario, 2-2, right? We can't go 1-3. It definitely damn sure can't go 0-4. So I mean, worst case scenario, you're looking at a split here, and you go 2-2, and then you end up being 4-4 coming through this stretch here. But of course, we all honestly want to come out this stretch being 5-3 or even possibly 6-2, right? So you got to take it one game at a time, go 1-0 each and every week. And it starts with the BYU matchup. So that's going to be a fun matchup without question. And, of course, I continue to keep you guys updated, on the news and everything that we have when it comes to recruiting. Like I said, there were, some elite recruits that we had on campus for the Wyoming matchup. And they were able to see a great show, without question, from our Colorado Buffaloes. And it's only a matter of time. Also, don't forget about Christian Ward, right? The star wide receiver coming out of IMG. Now, he's from Georgia. I know he went to Walton High School, and then he transferred to IMG Academy for his senior season. 6'3", a $185, top 80 wide receiver in the country, can really go up and get the football. Of course, this past week, he dropped his Final 4, which was Bama, Michigan, Colorado, and Arizona State. It looks like he's expected to commit this Wednesday, the 24th. It's going to be on On3's YouTube channel. Of course, we received a crystal ball from this young man. Steve Wiltfong pretty much put in one of his fong bongs. So of course, once you get one of those, it's pretty much wrapping that player's recruitment. So looking to get some great news here in a couple of days from Christian Ward. And of course, that'll be another great addition to this 2026 class, which is going to continue to grow and get better, dog. But not going to keep you long. Just want to bring you guys another phenomenal update, man. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. You know what time it is, dog. Bird's eye view, man.